It's live now.
Sure, may I proceed? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's session on World Humanitarian Drive. My name is Samantha Mock, and I will be your host along our moderator, Ms. Hema Doraisamy. We are now live, joined by audiences and media from 12 countries around the world, and present with us here today are three very important guests. Please welcome our Honorable Founding Chairman and President of the World Humanitarian Drive, Dr. Abdul Basid Syed, Secretary General of the World Humanitarian Drive's Malaysia Chapter, Professor Dato Dr. G.P. Doraisamy, and the Global Head of Technical Department, Ms. Sarah Wilson. Today, on the 16th of September, is a very special day for Malaysia, where most of us are from. 6 guest speakers, and all of us basically you're seeing today, we're all from Malaysia. And to give you some context, Malaysia Day is a public holiday held on 16 September to commemorate the establishment of Malaysia Federation on the date in 1963, which saw Malaya, North Borneo, Sarawak, and Singapore unite into a single state. Moreover, September is also an important month to WHD, and it's also the month where we remember World Moral Day, which was celebrated on 2nd September, the same date where World War II came to an end. Peace is an advocacy which WHD has been strongly advocating forever since coming into existence. Just as how war and power are conjoined, peace and morality also are inseparable. Thus, World Moral Day is a reminder to embrace morality for peace. The world requires many significant contributions from different fields, but most important is to incorporate morals and values in them. Progress without morals, profits without ethics, development without humanity, and prosperity without peace. These can disrupt the structure of our human society. WHD understands these societal problems, and hence we leverage on significant celebrations like World Moral Day to create awareness and to remind people of the significance of truth, loyalty, generosity, integrity, compassion, honesty, love, and equality. Before I invite Dr. Abdul Basid Syed to give his most anticipated opening speech, allow me to briefly introduce to you this wonderful man. Dr. Abdul Basid Syed is a British Indian global peace activist, writer, and entrepreneur based in Croydon, UK, who was accredited with peace, education, trade harmony initiatives globally. He is also awarded the Ambassador for Peace by Universal Peace Federation, as well as the Mahatma Gandhi Award by NRI Welfare Society, on top of a multitude of international recognitions of his services to humanity with a history of nearly 2 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Honorable Founding President, Dr. Abdul Basid Syed, to give his opening speech.
Dear Samantha, thank you so much for your introduction. I am honored and blessed to be with you all today on this important day of celebrations of Malaysia Day. Dear Honorable Dato G.P. Doraisamy, it's always been an honor to work with you as a friend, as a brother, as a partner in terms of spreading the word of peace to the horizons of this earth. Thank you again for conducting this excellent program in terms of spreading the message of World Moral Day. Honorable Excellencies, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all today to this important event of World Moral Day, celebrated along with Malaysia Day. I want to talk about Malaysia. Malaysia, a country with different cultures, races, languages, ethnicities, and let's say climate as well, but still a country with one piece of heart. They are proud to call themselves Malaysians all over the world. And whenever I meet with them, they never forget to share their food. So I love Malaysian food, and I love you people's humble thoughts of happiness directed towards peace and justice of living. It gives me an immense honor to welcome all the celebrated guests who are going to speak in this panel today. WHD, World Humanitarian Drive, as an organization, was started 3 years ago as a humble beginning to expand the word the love and affection which should be shared across the world. That's the only reason why we started WHD, with three main goals: peace, education, and trade harmony. As we believed, if there is good trade harmony, then we can support finances for education. And if there's good education, then we can have lasting peace. So this is the core principles and goals we are working towards. There are organizations like our PWD Formability, which are working along with us, who are doing amazing work in terms of promoting and helping good nutritious food across Malaysia. And we are working tirelessly with them in terms of taking their idea to globally, so no one will be left with hunger. So thank you, PWD Formability, for joining us, expanding your wing, and celebrating everything possible with us, especially when it comes to humanity and its value. Dear Honorable Excellencies who have joined us today, World Moral Day is a celebration which WHT has initiated to celebrate what the world needs to know. The 2nd of September is the last day of the World War II. Closer to 40 million people lost their lives during the two world wars. We don't want another world war, neither don't we want another pandemic. So this is our moral responsibility to raise an awareness, not only in this day, but throughout the year. So a moral day is a first step towards that path. That's why we are requesting the United Nations to declare one such day. On the 2nd of September, I was in India. This gone 2nd of September, I was in India. We conducted a multitudes of events, from cycle marathon to having university tie-ups, closer to 1,400 universities, colleges, schools around the world, and millions of students who have been a part of our art festival, drawing competitions, poetry competitions, and in fact, debates and other serials of programs for only one intention, that is to spread morality in the minds of people, because we believe morals are the foundation of peace. And if the foundation of peace is concrete, we can celebrate the harmony in this world with peace, justice, and equality. Because at this point of time, equality plays an important role in any part of the world. And as Malay, with different cultures, different ethnicities, different languages, equality is the foundation of your peace and your justice system. And I thank you all for celebrating this Malaysia Day with UK, with all our international chapters together. And once again, I want to say a big welcome to all the hosts, Ms. Hema Duraisamy, Samantha Mook, our global operations team, especially Colin Sarah Wilson, who have been an ideal part to support us, and all other, Ahmed Termizi, and if I've left out any other name, and Dr. Billy Tang, PWD Formability, who is an ideal partner who has supported us all along. So I welcome you all, Honorable Excellencies, friends, partners, brothers and sisters, to this global program. And I wish and pray to God that once this COVID gets over, I will meet you all very shortly in Malaysia for a very, very important thing in terms of Trade for Peace, World Moral Day, and finally the Science Bazaar, trying to innovate opportunities for Malaysia and for the world to bring us all together and spread the message of peace, love, and equality. Thank you all. God bless you all, and welcome again. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdul Basid Syed, for your heartfelt speech, which left a deep impression in our hearts on today's World Moral Day and Malaysia Day celebration. Without further ado, let us introduce to you our most esteemed speakers who have so generously offered their time to be with us here today to share their words of wisdom. Our first speaker is Mr. Sunil Hashmukhare, Group CEO of HC Consultants Group, the founder and president of Malaysia Positive Psychology Association, MPPA, co-founder and president of Malaysia Association of Professional Trainers and Coaches, and the founder of ASEAN Corporate Happiness Culture Community. Our second guest speaker is Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi Mukhtar, presently the Secretary General of Humanity Malaysia, whom in June 2020 has won the Global Humanitarian Award by WHD UK for his advocacy works, diplomacy, political engagements, and humanitarian mission in Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, United Nations, UN, and European Union, EU. Inspired to be a philanthropist, he has developed a strategic partnership between Humanity Malaysia and ASEAN Peace Reconciliation Council to forge a better understanding between Malaysia and Thailand in managing humanitarian crises in Southeast Asia region. Our third speaker is Mr. Aroldas Sinapan, an experienced senior journalist with vast skills in investigative journalism and 39 years of experience in the industry. He won the Malaysian Human Rights Commission 2015 award by Malaysian Press Institute Petronas, and one of his major experiences as a journalist was covering the tragedy at Butterworth, where a platform at the ferry terminal collapsed during a 100-year celebration of the St. Anne's Church and 60-year celebration of the Kuan Yin Temple in Penang in 1988. Our fourth guest speaker is Mr. Stephen Lai, who is based in Penang. He is an international business and startup consultant who spent over 30 years overseas in the US and Singapore. He has traveled extensively and conducted businesses in all ASEAN countries, China, Japan, and India for over 20 years. Also an MBA graduate from the University of Michigan at Ann Arbor. Mr. Stephen earned double degrees in mathematics and electrical engineering from the University of Texas at Austin. He is currently the CEO of Syed Penang, promoting social entrepreneurship and social enterprise development in Penang. And our final guest speaker is Mr. Paul Fong, who is the founder and chairman of Malaysia Dynamic Community Association. He has held many key positions in various renowned NGOs for the past 20 years and has been actively participating and promoting cultural, charitable, and world peace activities. I'm sure all 6 of our renowned speakers here today will offer invaluable insights on their experience on humanitarian works on this auspicious Malaysia Day and World Moral Day celebration. I shall now invite our moderator, Ms. Hema Doraisamy, to lead the session with our wonderful speakers. Thank you so much, Ms. Hema.
Thank you, Samantha. Good day, Founder Chairman, Dr. Abdul, Basid Syed, Professor Datuk Dr. Doraisamy, Secretary General, WHD Malaysia Chapter, Miss Sarah Wilson, and everyone around the world. Selamat petang, vanakkam, sastrakal, wang shanghao. It gives me great pleasure to be the moderator for yet another exciting event put together by the WHD Malaysia Chapter. Happy Malaysia Day to all Malaysians and happy World Moral Day to all WHD members across the globe. Today, we have with us speakers from a various cultural background, and it's so nice to see everyone dressed beautifully in our national costumes. We have the batik, which is the textile art in Malaysia. We have the baju Melayu and songkok. We have jippa, and of course, I'm showcasing the red cheongsam. Today is the day Malaya became Malaysia by embracing Sabah and Sarawak. It's also a day that signifies our desire to be a progressive nation. WHD stands by promoting peace, harmony, morality, and humanity. Without wasting any more time, let's begin with our first speaker for today. So let's start with Mr. Sunil. Sunil, you are known for a person who lives a purposefully life, and I'm fascinated with your passion in touching hearts and transforming lives. Can you please share with us some of the efforts and initiatives you have embarked on since the beginning of this pandemic?
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Hema, and the entire WHD team around the world for inviting me to share my thoughts and experiences a little bit on this very, very auspicious occasion of the Malaysia Day. It's a day that we are so proud to celebrate and say it's a day that we embraced, Sabah and Sarawak. It's a day where we really, really lift up to the morals and the values of bringing people together and spreading love and peace. And that's exactly the values that we hold up to at the Malaysia Positive Psychology Association. And it was very interesting that you asked me that question, Ms. Hema, because way back, 17, 18 months ago in March last year, we were really, really in a very critical situation when the country announced a lockdown. More and more people over, first 2 weeks was fun, yay, we are home, we don't have to work and all that. And then along the way, I think it really got bad when people started to lose their jobs, when people couldn't go, students couldn't go to the universities and all that. And, talking to so many close friends who are doctors and all frontliners, it became so worrying to see how bad the situation in the country was. So we started off with one of the most meaningful experiences for me personally was to launch the program called C19 or COVID-19 Heroes Support Group, where we actually got the professional coaches and counselors and friends together to spread love and channel positive energy to our COVID frontliners, especially the doctors, the nurses and all that. And these amazing people were there sacrificing their lives for all of us, right? The value of selflessness was truly being projected in the work that they were doing. So we got over a 2 weeks period, supported close to about 700-800 doctors, medical personnel and nurses who were calling in, crying down, really shutting off, feeling really frustrated about the kind of struggles that they were going through. And while this was going on, we then discovered the other need of the hour, which was actually the point where more and more people were starting to get retrenched. So immediately, together with the Ministry of Human Resources Malaysia, we launched an initiative to get the people who are retrenched and the young people who can't find jobs into a space of being able to get free career coaching support. We started helping people match recruitment and all that work was going on. Then comes the next big wave. The reason why more and more retrenchments were happening is because the SMEs couldn't survive and support. Then we said that let's now also, while concurrently doing all this, let's go in and support the SMEs. And we work with close to 500-600 SMEs to help them pivot and turn their businesses around. So I think, love in action is one of the moral values which, we really believe in strongly, and allowing ourselves to really go into action to drive what's going to create value for people, right? So we didn't even stop there. And then we continued with many more activities and programs to actually drive, the message of love, selflessness, helping one another, paying it forward. And we saw how Malaysians came so selflessly together in driving this. Right. And I think there cannot be a greater joy to see Malaysians uniting further, right? Just like in every disaster, if you realize, right, there will be people that unites. And I think it needed, the global pandemic and unite Malaysians, unite the world to come together and create solutions and create that positive impact that was much, much needed for the survival to the thriving of mankind in this global pandemic. So those are some of those things, Ms. Hema, that we worked on. And I think I'm so humbled to have such amazing, dynamic, volunteers and selfless Malaysians who stepped up to the need of the hour. So, yep, over to you.
Thank you, Sunil. That's an amazing initiative. And I must say, I'm truly honored to actually say that I was also part of your team, together in MPPA, and we did some amazing work. So yes, we definitely spread love all around. Now, let's move on to our next speaker, Mr. Tarmizi. Now, Mr. Tarmizi, the question that I have for you is, Malaysia have achieved 64 years of independence and 58 years as a thriving nation. As one of a successful Malaysian, having had an experience dealing with diplomacy and international relations for decades, how do you find peace and stability in a nation building?
Thank you, Hema, for that question. Ladies and gentlemen, look at us all today. Malaysia have a multiracial, look at Malaysia as a nation, build and deliver to their citizens. We have Malaysian Chinese, we have Malays, we have Malaysian Indian. So we all are 33 million people living together. So before I start, I would like to emphasize that we as a Malaysian to have an attitude of gratitude because of for the past 64 years of independence and for the past 58 years of as a nation in the embracing Sabah and Sarawak. So we have achieved tremendous outcome. Can you imagine, Hema and ladies and gentlemen, if everybody can respect the rule of law, the peace and stability can be preserved and protected. Look at our diversity, because of, for me, diversity is our strength. Not many countries in the world have this diversity. Look at Malaysia in the Southeast Asia region. Okay, Malaysia have a beautiful culture. We have a multiracial, we're living together. Of course, during our daily life, we have differences. We have different opinions, but look at Malaysia today. So long that we can respect each other differences, forgive and reconciliation is the key for us to move ahead as a nation. I think, Hema, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to emphasize again that we are in the blessed country, truly, because of for the past 10 years, I've been traveling around the world. I visited Bangladesh, I visited Myanmar, I visited Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines. And also I went through a beautiful experience with the European countries. Then when I come back, I'm very proud to say that Malaysia is the best land for us to live together. Can you imagine? We have diverse culture, we have diverse choice of food, and we have diverse color that we have. So that I think that's all, Hema.
Well, thank you, Tarmizi. I surely concur your statement that we should have an attitude of gratitude. We are surely rich in cultures. Now, personally, I've also visited many countries, and whenever I come back to Malaysia, the first thing that I have to do is have my teh tarik upon arrival. And I just love hearing, when the MAS flight attendant says, to all Malaysians, selamat pulang ke tanah air. It's exactly. Really nice. That feeling is really nice. That's right. All right. Thank you, Tarmizi. So let's move to our next speaker, which is Mr. Arul. Mr. Arul, I have a very different question for you. And the question for you is, what is your opinions towards refugees and asylum seekers? Are they being treated fairly?
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for giving me an opportunity, a platform to speak about peace, where we are celebrating Malaysia Day. Okay, and my opinion about are we giving an opportunity to the asylum seekers or the refugees, I would say not completely. Most of the time, we look down on the refugees or asylum seekers. We don't treat them equally. We chase them. I have seen incidents of people chasing, belittling, and or do you say look down on them, and as if they are an hindrance or they are obstacle to our nation, to our freedom. Actually, not. They are under such circumstances in their motherland that they cannot afford to go on in their motherland anymore. That's why they leave their country for greener pastures. When they in knowing their story, many have died through their journey looking for greener pastures. Many. There was once I heard from from the horse's mouth, there were 5 boats carrying refugees from Bangladesh or Myanmar, carrying the refugees. And out of the 5 boats, 3 boats were sunk by the authorities in the international waters. And 1 left in Aceh and another one landed in Andaman Islands by the Indian Navy. So they are looking, for a future of their children, of the families, they're too humans. They're too humans. So we have to treat them. We have to give them the avenue to live. We have to, out of mercy and humanitarian grounds, we have to give them food. We have to we have to accommodate them. And if possible, the children's. They come with the children. We have to give them the education. It is basic humanity. Not to let the children out of education. We have to provide education. United Nations protocol allows them to have the children to have their education. So, as people say, charity begins at home. So we propagate peace in our home by helping the refugees. It's our part as a humans. We treat them equally.
Thank you, Mr. Arul. I have to say that, I have come across a huge group of refugees in our capital in Kuala Lumpur during this pandemic. And I must say, I was blessed to have the opportunity to help them during this pandemic, with food aid and vaccination drives. And yes, they are also human. So I think, more people should look at, doing projects for the refugees around the world. So, well, thank you, Mr. Arul. Now let's move to our next panelist, Mr. Stephen. Mr. Stephen, before returning to Penang a few years ago, you spent 30 years overseas in USA, Singapore, China, Vietnam, Thailand, and many Asian countries. Tell us what is so special about Penang and your Malaysia Day reflection on today's topic on peace, harmony, morality, and humanity.
Okay, thank you, Hema. I'd like to thank you first. Thank you, WHD and Dr. Doraisamy for having me here today on this special Malaysia Day webinar. Yesterday, Penang welcomes, right? The good news that Penang Hill has been listed by UN as a World Biosphere Reserve site. So this is our second UNESCO recognition after Georgetown World Heritage Site. So I would like to highlight just one aspect of Penang that is so special, right? That gives me so much hope and optimism about Penang and Malaysia, right? That is that Penang has a historical capacity to produce a disproportionate number of talents as reflected in the diversity of achievements of Penang diaspora all across the world. Right, Penang, as you know, is the second smallest state with a population of 1.8 million people and a land size of merely 1,000 square kilometers. But Penang produced the world's best player of badminton and squash. Penang has CEOs that run some of the biggest high-tech firms in the world, such as America's Broadcom and China's Tencent. Even produced the second finance minister of Singapore, right? And going back further in history, there's one Dr. Wu from Penang who invented the precursor to the N95 mask, and the list goes on, right? So I feel very privileged and thankful to live in this great melting pot of East and West cultures, where different races and ethnic groups have lived together in harmony for 500 years, right? Having said all that, right, on this 58th Malaysia Day, I was born in the same year as Malaysia, right? So you can tell how old am I. And we should not be contented with the peaceful coexistence and racial tolerance, right? But I'm dreaming to see the formation of a more racially integrated Malaysian Malaysia, where all races and ethnic groups can live in a safe and secure environment, in mutual interdependence and unity of purpose, and to co-create a better future for all. So that's my hope for Malaysia on this day. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen. As a fellow Penangite, I'm always proud about our famous Penang nasi kandar and char kway teow.
Okay.
Right. Our next panelist is Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul, being a Sarawakian, what's your view on Malaysia Day?
Okay. Thank you and good evening to everyone. As a Sarawakian, I would like to talk a little bit of my feelings and also my view on Malaysia Day. Malaysia Day falls on September 16, the day when a complete Malaysia comprising Sarawak, Sabah, and Malaya was formed. So, sorry, I got something. Excuse me. So as such, it is the country's birth date and should be recognized as Malaysia's national day. This is my view as a Sarawakian, and not any other date when the later two states, Sarawak and Sabah, had not joined. It is like one's birthday, and people celebrate birthday once a year. And similarly, prior to September 16, 1963, Malaysia had not been born as a historical fact. I do respect Malaya's Independence Day from colonial rule, which is August 31st, and which I would definitely worth commemorating and celebrating. This is because my comments are based on the facts that currently Malaysia's National Day is still August 31st. However, on August 31st, 1957, both the states of Sarawak and Sabah had not joined the federation to form the country we today call Malaysia. So both states, together with Singapore, cooperated to join in, and thus Malaysia was born on September 16, 1963. So therefore, it is more logical to commemorate September 16 as Malaysia's National Day. So this has caused concern amongst East Malaysians, including myself. I would like to take this opportunity to urge the Malaysian government to seriously consider this matter with regards to the significance of the significance of the facts stated just now. So having non-political stance, I hope everyone involved can work towards achieving this goal. So this is my wish, and also this is my view for as a Sarawakian on Malaysia Day. Thank you.
Well said, Mr. Paul. That's surely something for all to ponder on. Now let's go back to Mr. Sunil. Sunil, you are involved in various community-based associations like Rotary, FGIS, Friendship Group of Interreligious Services, and etc. What are some of your experience where you saw to power of one united Malaysians coming together?
Thanks, Hema, for that question. I think it's a very interesting one. So there has been a lot of experiences. Yeah, I've been a trainer, a speaker, a coach for many years. You know, when I first invited to speak at United Nations, I was only 17 years old. And ever since then, I've gotten myself into lots of volunteerism, and it's been an amazing journey so far. The few that, you know, right, it's on the top of my mind now is the program that we launched to really inculcate this value of honoring our parents every day. Because in the Malaysian context, in basically every religion, we have got different values that is showing up. But the one that comes across all the religious textbooks is honor and love and respect and revere your parents. So on 9th of December, I still remember, we received a newspaper article, you know, the front page of that says, you know, 1 out of 3 parents were being abandoned in the old folks home. That became an alarm, and that became really very scary. Not too long after that, I got a call from the local radio station asking me if I would like to, you know, sort of give some comments on this, and invited me to the radio station on the 11th. Together with my mentor, Professor Dr. Suresh Govind, we headed to Bernama station and we spoke about this. And it's on the way to that event, we launched a nationwide initiative called Honor Our Parents Everyday program. So it comprised of so many different kind of initiatives and programs and activities, right from kindergarten children, primary school, secondary school, all the way up to the university and colleges. The whole objective of that was to spread the value of loving, respecting, revering parents. Now, how did that help, you know, the work that we do, or the intentions of really keeping Malaysians? We saw people of different race, religions coming together, right? Because that was one common denominator, Hema, that really, really could help reach many, many people. And it was very heartwarming to see how parents, children, youth, young people all came together for the drama festival, for the song competition, for the old folks home visit, and the various community programs that were going on. That inspired us to do the ASEAN version. And the same thing happened again. We got our friends from Angkatan Belia Islam Malaysia, from the Churches Council, all these different groups of, you know, youth leaders from various NGOs and, you know, religious groups came together, not about the religion, but it was only about how can we create a positive impact? How can we leave a positive legacy? And then I saw the magic happen, where close to 2,000 people showed up at the ASEAN Human Value Drama Festival. And we saw countries like Thailand, Singapore, Philippines, and all flying in to be part of that whole project. And I think that was one of my biggest memorable experiences. And you may be wondering, why do I share this? While we have got some of our colleagues sharing about, you know, from a context and context of Malaysian perspective, what I have in mind to share is mainly on the ground, at the grassroots. How can we create more positive impact, empowering people with moral values, touching hearts and transforming lives? And the one, you know, Dato, our, you know, Dato shared just now that the member of parliament from Sabah is not able to join us because he is, you know, stuck in Sabah Penampang due to the heavy rains and the floods that's there. It just reminded me of the horrible floods that we had a couple of years back in Kelantan, right? We got, you know, groups of friends together from the different groups to come, and then we actually went all the way to Kelantan in 4-wheel drives, and it was just a major thing that we actually went in the boats and then stayed in the jungle. And then looking at the ruins and seeing how people of different faith and different religions came together truly showed me the power of unity, truly showed me the power of one Malaysia. Everyone. We had close to about 40,000 tons, I suppose, of goods and food and things that was given away to the people in the East Coast during that period. So I find that Malaysia is one of the most beautiful countries around the world. Like you, Hema, I've traveled no less than probably about 45, 50 countries now, right? And I can't wait to get out of Malaysia just to jump on a plane and go see places once again, right? But I've always been so eager and excited to land and come back to our own motherland. And I think it's such a heartwarming experience to go see different parts of the world and come back and say, hey, no matter where you go, Malaysia is our home. This is the place where we will live, and this is the place where we will want to end our lives. And I think Malaysia is truly the place that I'm so grateful to be in. And I really hope that more and more people will be inspired to create more positive impacts through various initiatives, programs, community work, and live Malaysia in a better space, in a better place. So thank you. Thank you very much for that question.
Thank you, Sunil. Well, I agree. We should always love and honor our parents. And I'm delighted to say today, I am the proud daughter of the amazing Professor Dr. Doraisamy, whom is also the WHD Malaysia Chapter Secretary General. Malaysia is a beautiful country. Kami semua rakyat Malaysia. Well, let's move on to Mr. Tarmizi. Mr. Tarmizi, unprecedented pandemic has given tough times to all Malaysians. From global humanitarian laureate to co-founder of Asian Internet Gateway Berhad, how do you want to see or to bring our nation back on track?
Wow, what a question, Hema. Thank you very much. And indeed, I think we all face tough time. I believe we all admit that since March last year, everybody faced massive challenges. So that's why I took a courageous effort. Middle of last year, I left government-linked companies and without knowing that what I want to do after I leaving the company. So when I left, I met one beautiful partner. So we co-founded one company called ASEAN Internet Gateway Berhad. So that's why in our principle and policies, we always ask ourselves, don't ask what Malaysia can do for you, what you can deliver to your beautiful nation. So because of that attitude, we work very hard. We form a formidable consortium connecting East and West. So with this consortium member, we develop next technology infrastructure in telecommunication. So while we are running on Zoom today, we are depending on the numbers of bandwidth. The numbers of bandwidth delivered by none other than Telecom Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, our company taking a courageous risk, developing next generation telecommunication infrastructure with massive 256 terabytes. Today, for everybody's information, we are running less than 6 terabytes. So for us to forge as a solid nation in the future, we need this backbone, quality infrastructure. And for you and for all of us want to fire up e-commerce, digital economy, IR, Industrial Revolution 4.0, we need a quality bandwidth. And then I'm very sure that all of us in Malaysia experiencing buffering. When you receive a video, articles, or whatever, when you click, the phone will be buffering. So then not many Malaysian and not many people know about it. And because for our reference, we are sharing 2 to 3 terabytes in the country. We only have 33 million population, but we have 44 million subscribers. So can you imagine in the highway that full of cars on the road, congested, then you cannot move and you cannot squeeze in between. So that's why in ASEAN Internet Gateway Berhad, we believe in what we can do for Malaysia compared to what Malaysia can do for us. So then with this technology, I believe Malaysian can enjoy the 5G technology by December 2023. And because of we taking a courageous effort, we develop the technology, we secure the financing, and we give a beautiful service for all Malaysian. So I hope everybody will play for this, and bear in mind, by December or by Q1 2024, Malaysia can enjoy 5G, inshallah. Thank you, Hema.
Thank you, Tarmizi. Yes, the question is what we can do for our fellow Malaysians. I do hope our Malaysian audiences today will get this question pounding on. Thank you, Tarmizi. Now let's move to Mr. Arul. Mr. Arul, do we help the children of the refugees to be educated in our country?
I would say not completely, not absolutely, but there are NGOs and some religious bodies, including some churches, are running nurseries and kindergartens for the refugee children. I think it's throughout the country, but it is not enough, because what I know, no local NGOs are in the activities. They are not really involved. Not many, I would say not many. So, but what we need is we have to be compassionate and help these children, uplift these children, because their future at stake. If you don't educate them, what do you expect their future to be? So they can be engineers, doctors, scientists, you know. Then there's a question mark hanging on top on top of their head. So how we are going to help them? Now it is very, very important. There's no, there's no difference between our children and their children. Because they are refugees, we can't simply, neglect them, ignore them. Okay, they have their right. They are born in this world as other humans in other nations, living happily and with all the benefits. Whereas these stateless people and the children, they do not get the same treatment as we get, as we enjoy. So something must be done. Something must be done to that refugees and the asylum seekers in the country. I remember in 2018, there were some changes by the government and for the refugees, especially for the Rohingyas and the Bangladeshis. But when the government changed again, it's all in a question mark. So what is our contribution? What the local community can do? We should not neglect them, ignore them. We cannot ignore them. We cannot neglect them. It's our duty to do what we are supposed to do for the stateless children and the people. Do I still have time, Hema?
Well, if you want to say maybe 1 or 2 lines more, yeah.
Okay. No, it is, in Malaysia, now I feel it's God gifted that I'm born here. You know, I played in this land, in this soil, and I be proud to be laid in this land and this soil. That's my wish. Okay, So what do you say? We treasure, as Malaysians, we treasure. As you said earlier, when we go overseas, you know, when we are in the other lands, we don't find we are secured, safe and secure. But whenever we go up the Mars flight, we feel we are secure. You know, we are happy, and we are already in Malaysia. So when we land in the airport, we feel we are secure completely. We are safe. It's my motherland. It's my mother's soil. Okay, that kind of feeling. So I would like to share with everyone that we treasure the freedom and the independence. And Malaysia is a gifted land that we all live together. It's God-given gift. Thank you.
Well, yes, I agree. Everyone should be treated fairly. Let us shower as much love and care that we can for everyone around us. Now, moving to Mr. Stephen. You have semi-retired from your job as CEO of a fintech company in Singapore and now reinvented yourself as a social entrepreneur and a startup consultant, helping, among others, a local social enterprise startup like Kairos Agriculture with fundraising and mentorship. What are your thoughts on how to build a more equitable and socially inclusive society in Malaysia?
Apologies, Ms. Hema and all our guest speakers. We just received great news that the Honourable Paul Clark, former Transport Minister of the UK, would like to join immediately. May we have him on stage first because of some urgency that he has to attend later. So can we have him intervene to speak?
Yes, sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure for me to come back again to this event, and I want to introduce His Excellency Paul Clark, who is a former Transport Minister for Britain, and as well as who has been an assistant to several prime ministers and advising role in UK government's capacity. He is with me. He has joined us kindly to give a few words. He was a very good friend of me. Please.
Thank you very much for that introduction, and you're too kind to include me today on what is, of course, World Moral Day and also Malaysia Day as well. So can I send my greetings particularly to our colleagues across the world, but particularly in Malaysia as well. One of the things in my work that I've been doing, particularly in West Africa, is to actually recognize that the complexities of today's society and the challenges we face does mean real team working and bringing together so many facets. So if we want to see trade as a way for peace, for example, then we need to make sure that the wherewithal is there within the societies that we're working with, to have the skills, to have the knowledge, to have the empowerment and also the actual practical facilities to take forward real trade on a real basis and to bring peace and stability to our world. So there is a great deal to do, and I'm delighted to clearly be here, just joining you briefly in your deliberations and so on. And I hope that soon, as the world starts to hopefully get back to some normality, whatever that be, that we'll be able to travel and meet and work practically together. So may I wish you every success with the rest of your deliberations today, and bring you here greetings from London and the United Kingdom. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency Paul Clark, for your beautiful, short, brief introductory speech. We thank you on behalf of World Humanitarian Drive Malaysian chapter. Thank you, His Excellency Paul Clark, for your precious time with us. Thank you, sir.
Not before I introduce you, dear Dr. Dato GP Doraisamy. So that's Dr. GP Doraisamy, an able man who is a Secretary General of WHT Malaysia, who has worked hard, who has put together this interesting program. I think there is a lot of other dignitaries who I've introduced you through the sheet and all of them. So thank you all once again.
Thank you.
And we will
Namaste.
join you very soon in Malaysia. Let's put up the Trade for Peace conference on our biggest range as we can. So Malaysia and the world can be benefited by an economy which is going to be smooth and for peace. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Abdul Basid. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Honorable His Excellency Paul Clark. Ms. Hema Doraisamy, you may continue to moderate the speakers. And the next speaker is Mr. Stephen Lai, yes?
Yes, thank you, Samantha. So I've already asked the question.
Okay.
Mr. Stephen, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, it's okay. Thank you for Hema for doing a good job in this moderation, right? I mean, I listened to all the speakers today. I was so inspired by all the different comment about, because as you know that I was a businessman, I wasn't a humanitarian, right? So it's only of late, after I got out the busyness of business life, then I began to reflect on my life, what I did wrong, what I did correctly in my past, what should I have done better, right? So I thought about the issue of corruption. So that's why I began to form this Seed Penang. It was formed a few months ago, right? As a way to promote social entrepreneurs enterprise. As you know, behind me, there's just a picture of Penang, right? You can see this picture. This is not Switzerland, this is Penang, right? This is a picture of Penang by the drone taken by my good friend, David Low, who is an award-winning photojournalist, right? He lived 20 years overseas in London as well as in Singapore as a head of Reuters picture. And here's an example of somebody from Penang diaspora, right? Who returned to Penang to serve Penang. So the example of a good model of somebody that who has come back to Penang to serve Penang. And I really believe that the Seed Penang was set up by me because I realized that there is a gap between a lot of people in Malaysia with a good heart, with a good social purpose, but they have no business skill, right? They don't know how to make money. They will try to create a social enterprise, but they don't know how to make something work that's sustainable. There's a lot of people who are very rich, people who are businessmen who are very rich, but they don't know what to do with the money, right? So I'm hoping that I can do something to bridge the gap, the platform, right? So for example, you were saying that I was helping Cairo agriculture in Penang, right? Cairo is Malaysia's first smart farm for vanilla, right? The CEO, a young man, Ezra, right? I was very impressed by his, entrepreneur. In fact, I see myself in him during my younger days, right? So he was trying to raise money for his farm, but because of COVID-19, all investors that say yes to him has run away during the crisis, right? But I found him an investor from Singapore that is a very socially minded investor who took up the whole trench of investment. That's why today it became a reality, right? So because I know somebody who has the money and who has the socially minded, that kind of funds, right? So I hope to play the bridge between the have and have-nots, right? So I'm just playing a small role, right? And this Seed Penang will also support Penang's Vision 2030, right? They make Penang a family-focused state, a smart state, and a green state. I hope Seed Penang can play a small part in helping this to make it happen. Penang aspired to become a regional social enterprise hub. That was one of the Penang Chief Minister's vision, right? And Penang has got one of the largest community of NGOs, charities, CSRs that's known in the region. Penang has got this known for that as well. So, but not everybody will become a social enterprise. I understand that, right? But hopefully some will become SE, right? That now run like a business, right? That's more sustainable. So because I'm the only one I feel that a lot of the panelists who have done a lot of work in social sector, right? and I'm learning from you guys on how to do more with Seed Penang, right? And in some way, Seed Penang was some kind of extension of what I've been doing the last 3 years. I did a lot of pro bono work for Penang people, Penang companies, you know, and I was privileged to work with Dato Halim, YB Dato Halim, for the last 3 years, right, in some sort of advisory work, right? But at the same time, he also opened my door, my eyes to see the Malay community. When I was sharing earlier on why I say I hope to see a more racially integrated Malaysia, the truth of the matter is I was born in Penang in the fishing village. I went to Chinese school, high school. I don't know any Malay friend in my whole life. Until I went to study in America, I became the Malaysian club president. That's the first time in my entire life, in almost 20 years old, I met a Malay in my life and become good friends with a Malay. And now I'm back to Malaysia. Dato Halim has opened my door to see a lot of Malay people. So I was grateful for that, for doing it for me. So currently I'm doing a project for the youth. So we have done a lot of work to train the youth on leadership and entrepreneurship. And the first project will focus on the Malays, right? We have done a 1-year translation work, right? It's a very good material that we have developed. And so I'll be doing my first project on this area, right? So hopefully I can get myself, learn more from WHT, what sort of work I can do more. As you know that in the business world, I must unlearn a lot of my bad thing I learned from MBA, right? MBA teach you a lot of things about profit maximization, shareholders, you know, value first, right? Nothing about planet and people, right? And people hire and fire people all the time, right? You can, you know. So I think I have a lot to learn, to unlearn from my MBA, right? So hopefully I can learn more from now onwards through this webinar. Thank you very much, Hema.
Well done, Mr. Stephen, in mentoring young entrepreneurs. Very interesting sharing, and all the very best to you. Our next panelist, Mr. Paul.
Yes.
My question for you: what are the key of harmony in Sarawak?
Thank you, Ms. Hema. So talking about the key of harmony in Sarawak, I would like to share a little bit of my own views. Today is Malaysia Day. Malaysia Day is a meaningful day for all Malaysians to understand and respect one another. So you see, more than 20 ethnic groups lives in Sarawak, but they can live together in harmony. So furthermore, sensitive ethnic and religious issues rarely occur in Sarawak. It is something that the people of Sarawak are proud of, and is also a good reference for people from other states or places to learn and build a harmony society. So the key of harmony in Sarawak is that everyone respects each other. Respecting one another, religious preferences and culture bring people closer, increase understanding, and reduce conflict. Understanding is the foundation of peace. So from my point of view, everyone is equal. The right to live a more noble life demands not only self-respect, but also of others. Every life matters and no one is above the other, regardless of skin color, education level, culture, economy, status, etc. So each individual calling himself a Malaysian should work hard and earn his or her place in society through meritocracy and not based on race or creed. So in fact, multi-ethnic groups willing to dine in the same coffee shop in Sarawak without any restriction, so and without any sensitive issues. My hometown, Kuching, is one of the excellent and best example. Before the pandemic, we could see some Muslim friends taking breakfast at Chinese coffee shop every day. And a few years ago, I still can remember that my relative from KL came to Kuching for vacation. He was so curious and surprised when he saw some Muslims customers are having breakfast at Chinese coffee shop, which also serve non-halal food. I told him there are no sensitive and extreme racial or religious issues here. Here, we respect and understand each other. We are used to living this way. So last but not least, I hope that Malaysia Day can be a special day for all the Malaysians to think deeply, to reflect, and to practice harmony. I hope that every Malaysian will truly appreciate the meaning of what it takes to be a true Malaysian. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. Yes, understanding is the foundation of peace. Well, I'm pleased to say that we are good with time today. So in respect to that, I have one question, which I'm going to ask all the speakers, but you only given 1 minute, yeah? So you're only given 1 minute each, and I have one question, so I'll start from the beginning again, and I'm going to ask you this question. So let's start with Sunil. Sunil, what are your best hopes for Malaysia? 1 minute.
Okay, I love that question. Yeah, my best hope for Malaysia is for politicians to put their political differences aside, put the greed and the need to make more money aside for a short while. Just for a short while, put the greed and your financial needs aside. Just come down to the fact that you are human beings and you are leaders and you are here to serve the Rakyat Malaysia. Put everything aside and just have the purest intention of working together and making Malaysia strong once again. And when things recover, do what you want. I don't want to know. All right. So that's my hope number one. And hope number two is let's rebuild the country's economy, because more and more people are having difficulty to put food on the table for their families. Many people's livelihoods are so badly affected. So I really hope that even all Malaysians will come together and start helping as many people as you can and start paying it forward so that we will have a more peaceful and a happier nation. Thank you and Selamat Hari Malaysia.
Thank you, Sunil. Tarmizi, what are your best hopes for Malaysia?
Thank you, Hema. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Okay, very good. Thank you for the question, Hema. My only hope, we want to see Malaysia as a thriving nation to coming back. If we remember in the past that people used to call us the tiger of Asia, the Asian tiger. Okay, so that's why my hope and everybody's hope that can be back on track. That's why we, and together with my partners and my shareholders as ASEAN tigers in digital economy. How can we do that? We must develop a quality infrastructure because of when we want to develop our economy, because of if you realize, Hema and ladies and gentlemen, we want to do IoT, AI, e-commerce, so digital banking even. And I'm very sure all of us are very familiar with the Grab Food, Food Panda, Lala Move. So then we transacted that activities online. So if we do that, we need a quality infrastructure in telecommunication. So my hope, since you're giving me only 1 minute, Emma, so let's see Malaysia as a thriving nation in 2 to 3 years' time. And by earliest 2023, 2024, by next general election, hopefully we together develop the country. Work very hard, work smart, and we can build our nation. together. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you, Tarmizi. Mr. Arul, your take?
Hey, Emma. Malaysia is a unique nation. By God's creation, we are together, different cultures, different ethnic groups, different languages. No, we are all in this land for more than 200 years. Okay, and in the past, I think for decades, Malaysia has been a model of nation. You know, that many leaders have praised our existence together. The degree of tolerance among the Malaysians is very high, very good, appreciated by many people. Okay, I wanted to say, now we may have differences in opinions. Okay, we also on personalities. Okay, recently I interviewed Tun Dr. Mahathir, our former Prime Minister in Langkawi. And the interview was for Malaysia Day. What was his comments on Malaysia Day? He said, every Malaysian has to think as Malaysians. No more think that you are a Malay, you are a Chinese, you are an Indian, you are a Kadazan. We are all Malaysians in the Malaysian spirit. So we will definitely achieve the Malaysian Malaysia. We will one day become all Malaysians. No, we don't have to, see others in a different eye. So that's my dream for the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arul. Mr. Stephen?
Thank you. I think a Malaysia is a great hope for all of us, right? And I think I have no hope for the current political leaders in Malaysia. I don't have any hope on them. I pin no hope on them because of the careless words. Sometimes they use careless words that hurt a lot of young people. They leave the country, they migrate, right? Over the years, even today, the seemingly very mild politicians today, they have uttered words that are very careless. You know, you don't like, you go back to a country. So I over the years, I heard all these hurtful words. So I think Malaysia needs a national healing. We need to heal our memory, as a national memory healing, some kind of reconciliation, right? I only hope in the youth and the digital economy, right? I put a hope in the young people. So hopefully through my work in Syed, Penang, I'll be able to train out a new group of young leaders, Malay, Chinese, Indian, all races come together to be trained with the right purpose, right social-minded purpose, right? And this could be the future YBs of Malaysia. So that's my hope of Malaysia, that we can train out young leaders in the future. If you were to follow the current political structure based on the race, there's no way Malaysia, even young leaders, they will follow the race politics. So I'm hoping that I could use Syed Penang as a platform to train young leaders. Hopefully some of them become the future YBs of Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen. And last but not least, Mr. Paul.
Yeah, for me, I think very simple. So we are now facing the very serious pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic in the whole Malaysia. So I hope that all Malaysians, okay, this is my hope for not only for this country, but for all Malaysians, we should take it as a challenge. We don't look at it as a problem. We look at it as a challenge, and we work together, hand in hand, heart with heart, okay, and we work together to overcome the challenge. And I'm sure now the pandemic time is just like the winter, so everybody is suffering during this winter. But I'm sure winter will end. There's no winter in the world which never ends. So the winter in Malaysia will end, and we will welcome spring to come, and we will be back to the normal. And I hope the whole Malaysia, our nation, all our fellow citizens, we can enjoy the life, and we respect each other, and we, like what I say just now, understanding is the foundation of peace. So I hope that everyone will work together, and we unite together, and we build a better tomorrow for our nation. And last but not least, happy Malaysia Day to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. With that, It's a wrap on our moderating session with the speakers. I believe it was fun and engaging session. Thank you, speakers, and well done. I take this opportunity to thank WHD Malaysia and founder chairman Dr. Abdul Basid Syed for having me as your moderator today. Happy Malaysia Day and happy World Moral Day. I'd like to end by saying a saying from Martin Luther King. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hema. Thank you so much. You did a great job moderating, and you have one of the most special talent of drawing the most inspiring part of people. So well done. And next, I would like to introduce, no worries. Next, I would like to introduce to you the esteemed YB Dato Daryl Laking, a lawyer by profession and a barrister of Lincoln's Inn, UK. And he's currently serving his second term as an elected member of Parliament for Penampang, Sabah. He is also the elected state assemblyman for the state constituency, Mayok, Sabah. He is currently the deputy president of Parti Warisan and serves the party in the opposition bloc alongside the party's president, the former chief minister of Sabah, Datuk Seri Muhammad Shafi Haji Abdul. YB Datuk Daryl meant to join us in today's session, but unfortunately he was unable to join us this evening as he had a crisis managing the states under his constituency, as most of the houses under the state is flooded with rainwater. He actually just sent us some videos and photos, and it's devastating. Let us all pray for. He has also pre-recorded a video for us, so let's see what he has.
Very good evening to all. My name is Daryl Laking, and I'm from Sabah, the Member of Parliament for Penampang, constituency of Penampang, as well as the State Assemblyman for the constituency of Moyong. Before I begin, I'd like to extend my sincerest apologies to all of you all, more so to Professor Dr. Dorai Sami, on being unable to be live with you all on today's forum. I'd like to also congratulate each and every one of you all for your great inputs and speeches. And I just regret that I'm unable to be interactive with you all today due to an unfortunate incident last night where my I was around my area and constituency today, and I'm back home trying to help out with my family on the cleanup of the flood which affected us greatly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to give a little bit of input on today's World Morals Day, and thank you again for allowing me to give some little input on what I think we should do or look forward to. Everybody would in this forum knows that the formation of Malaysia was on September 16, 1963. And we can see from many of you all who may have visited Sabah the disparity that we have between Peninsular Malaysia, Sarawak and Sabah. And I guess that we all have to do our bidding and our part to make this right. During our time in government, we had attempted to complete 21 issues of the Malaysia Agreement 1963, which is the basis of the formation of the Federation of Malaysia. But unfortunately, due to the circumstances in March 2020, we were only able to complete 17 out of 21 issues of the MA63, all of which needed to be completed altogether, which is 21. So the remaining 4 remains with the previous government and the current government, and we hope and pray that they will complete it so that the entire 21 issues, which is a puzzle, will be completed so that we can do the necessary amendments to the federal constitution, to statutes, and as well as policies which have long caused the disparity between Sabah, Sarawak, and Peninsula. And ladies and gentlemen, on that, I'd like to leave a note as well that we need to get to know each other more well. And that little experience I had when I was the Minister of International Trade and industry for Malaysia. I saw many things that we could do together, but which, if not, we do not understand each other, we will never be able to achieve. I'll give you an example. Investment approvals for Sabah, Sarawak, and Peninsula were also different and in huge, vast disparity. However, we tried to close the gap. We tried to introduce more investment to Sabah, which had long been deprived of investment, because we were able to explain to our investors as well as our investment agencies and the officers attending to investment procurement for our country. So it's really about getting to know each other. I know there are distrust, there are also a lot of questions over why is Sabah or Sarawak or Peninsula less advanced or more advanced than the other. I think solution is about talking to each other and as well as completing what we have in the Malaysia Agreement 1963. Besides that, and to add further, we would need to help each other and get to know with each other all the time. We would need to build a culture of trust, and I believe if we do that, we will transcend beyond race, beyond religion, and then we will have a federation of Malaysia that we had all hoped to, as well as what our forefathers had drawn up for us in the outset of the formation. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, my apologies, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sarah, for your technical assistance in screening YB Datuk Darrell's video. Thank you so much. And now to conclude our session, I'd like to invite our very much beloved Professor Dato Dr. G.P. Doraisamy, the Secretary General of WHD Malaysia Chapter, to deliver his closing speech.
I think you're on mute. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sarah. Thank you, Ms. Samantha Mock, for your lovely hosting of this series of World Moral Day, Malaysia Day celebration for this evening. This is our second series, second year. We did one last year on 16th September 2020. So this is going to be an ongoing yearly program. Now, I'm really amazed by all our speakers, all our 6 speakers on this platform. I think speakers YB, we had just heard about YB Yang Berhormat Honorable Datuk Darrell, who is the Member of Parliament for Penampang, and unfortunately, because of his constituency is under some what you call natural disaster. It's a heavy flooding is happening at this moment at this area. But despite his very busy schedule, he managed to get us a video just about an hour, about 2 hours ago. He managed, because he doesn't want to be missed in this session. So we must thank Honorable Dato Darrell Laking, of Sabah. And also let me thank Mr. Sunil. Sunil, I think you spoke well on different perspective of education and family love, family unity, which is very important on this talking about moral on this Malaysia Day. Very well spoken. Thank you, Sunil. And coming to Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi, I think he's a very well experienced gentleman. I always admire him because he's a very well-traveled man, very experienced, and he's doing a lot of many humanitarian work in many countries outside Malaysia. So I thank Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi for being with us in this session. And of course, not forgetting our very senior journalist, Mr. Arul Das. I had really admired, been following your journalism, your reporting for the last more than 35 years. I've been following you, and you have been very meticulous, very sharp, very observant in your writing. And I'm very surprised, very what do you call, inspired by your writing. The most important, you wrote about the mass graveyard that was that you founded at the border of Thailand and Malaysia, and you really took your life to go there to make an investigation, and you came back to write on a book on that incident, which is really great. That is the heart, the spirit of journalism, and you have that, and that's why I felt that you must be on board for this session. And thank you, Mr. Arul. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And of course, another very senior fellow in the business world, none other than Mr. Stephen Lai. Stephen, you spoke very well. Yeah, after so many years in overseas stint, you brought all your experiences to Penang, and now Penang is really benefiting from your 30 over years in overseas. And you spent in USA, in China, in Indonesia, in so many countries, and it's a plus factor for Penang, and of course for Malaysia as well. And you're still into so many business enterprises, you're into so many investment companies, and you're helping setting up so many industries for Malaysia, who are from overseas as well. So that is why you spoke very well as well in how to enhance our unity, our peace, our morality, our humanity in this aspect. Thank you, Mr. Stephen Lai. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And of course, I must thank our Paul Fong. Paul Fong, very well, you from all the way from Sarawak, Kuching, Sarawak, and we wanted to bring you in because we would not like Sarawak to be left out. Sabah and Sarawak is part of Malaysia, so it really coincides with our Malaysia Day celebration. That is what Paul, you are here, and Paul spoke very well from the ethnic background, of the tribal background. You have the spirit of Sarawakian, and that's why I can feel the spirit of peace in you. You wanted to build that peace between Sarawak and Peninsular Malaysia, and I'm really happy that you spoke very well, sir. Thank you, Mr. Paul, for being on stage with us. So all the speakers, and of course, not forgetting to our host and our moderator, host who are very well. I think she has been on board twice, and I don't have to tell about Miss Hema. She has been here and there moderating so many sessions. So she also a part and parcel of WHD. And thank you for both of you hosts. And you never say no when I call you all, in spite of your very busy schedule. I know Samantha is so busy with your what do you call PWD Smart Farmability, and Hema is very busy with My Global World, her company, dealing with students all around the world. But in spite of that, you have some time to spend for the social work for this country. Now that is what we are looking for. It's what Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi said. You can go wherever you can go in the world, but you cannot find a country like Malaysia. So he said, home is the best. Coming back to Malaysia is one of the best experience. And I felt after going to many countries, after staying 1 week or 2 weeks or few years, I stayed a few years in London and a few years in Canada. But it's not like staying in Malaysia. I still feel that the spirit of love, the spirit of unity, the spirit of humanity, the spirit of morality is still surviving, is still alive in Malaysia, in spite of other problems. Forget about other problems. So this is what WHD, the World Humanitarian Drive, is all about, that we want to be together. Thank you, Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi, for giving that thought. So finally, I'm given only about 5 minutes to talk, because if Hema already highlighted me, because she's already flashing the red light, because my timing must be short, but otherwise I'll go for 1 hour or 2 hours, because I'm always used to speaking long hours. You can give me 3 hours. I can also take 3 hours on this topic. So anyway, finally, let me thank all the great speakers, all the great invited guest speakers for this session. Thank you once again. And I must thank at this juncture our founder chairman, none other than the Honorable Dr. Abdul Basid Syed, the man who has been flying. I just heard that he just came back from India. He was traveling to India, and he just came back, and he has so many events lined up for him. And in spite of that, he managed to come for our function and give some words for his opening remarks. And it was a great surprise that Honorable Dr. Abdul Basid managed to bring His Excellency Paul Clark, a man, a very senior politician, a very well-known man in the United Kingdom, in UK, in the government of UK, and still he's very popular. And bringing His Excellency Paul Clark to this event, to our event, it's a great honor to Malaysia. It's a great honor to WHD Malaysian chapter, I should say, for a man to come and say a few words. So thank you, His Excellency. Thank you for being part of us, and thank you, Honorable Dr. Abdul Basid, and for this. And to all those behind the curtain, there's been so many of them who have been making this program a success. I must thank our Miss Sarah Wilson. Yeah, she has been with me 24 hours around the clock, the whole week, the whole month, to make sure that everything goes fine. Miss Sarah Wilson is the global head of operations and technical team, and she covers so well in all our functions, and she's there. She's at the as what do you call it, behind the curtain, and she's doing all this job for us. So thank you for Miss Sarah Wilson. Of course, all the WHD chapters, honorary secretary generals. We have 12 other secretary generals around the world, and all of them, I presume all of them are watching this session whole day. And thank you to all the honorable secretary general of WHD around the world. And of course, I must thank what do you call our other teams, all other teams involved to make this program a great success for this session. And thank you again to all of you, and to all our partners here in Malaysia, those who have really behind us, like people like Pure Life Society, we have Snehem, we have Perin, we have Malaysian Corruption Watch, MCW, we have Pelita, we have the Penang Center for Child Care Center, Peace Center, and all of this one, and many other organizations are behind us to WHD, and we are gaining, and of course, we are gaining momentum with humanity, what do you call, headed by Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi and Mr. Stephen Lai, and of course, last but not least, I must mention one very important man who's on a wheelchair, the paraplegic farmer, Mr. Dr. Billy Tang, who heads the PWD Smart Farmability in Malaysia, and he's the man at the moment. He is giving 1,000. He's giving 1,000 organic vegetable terrarium boxes for Penang State, and we just a week ago we handed over to the Chief Minister of Penang, and WHD is a partner. It's a partner together with PWD Smart Farmability, and we are going all out into Malaysia. And next year, friends, next year you better get your schedule right. Next summer, 2022, I'm taking a delegation of WHD members, people, together with PWD Smart Farmability to London. Next summer, 2022, next summer, we are going to London. That is to the British Parliament in Westminster, London, where we will have our WHD Global Trilateral Peace Summit. Global Trilateral Peace Summit next summer, 2022. And we are going as a big delegation, Malaysian delegation, WHD Malaysia chapter, and we are going to be there. And some of us, already identifying some of us going to be honored at that event in London, and you are going to be at the top. And of course, PWD Smart Farmability, Dr. Billy Tang, who's a very, very unique social enterprise system that he has got, and we wanted to honor him and a few of others in our WHD group. will be there in London, and you are going to be the top of the world. And I already had the word with our Honorable Dr. Abdul Basid, and he has agreed to it. And you are going to be the top of the world in London. So with that, once again, thank you to all speakers. Thank you to the host, the moderator, and thank you to Ms. Sarah Wilson, the organizing team. And I pass back to the host, Ms. Samantha Mock. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, for your kind and encouragements. Today has been wonderful. And before we come to an end, WHD would like to give each speaker a certificate of gratitude for spending your time to share with us on our platform here today. Ms. Sarah Wilson, could you kindly flash the certificates on the screen? So our first certificate of gratitude shall go to the Honorable Datuk Daryl Lay King. Second one, to Mr. Arodas Sinapan, Mr. Stephen Lai, Mr. Paul Fong, Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi Mukhtar, and myself, the host, Ms. Samantha Mock, and our moderator, Ms. Hema Doraisamy. On behalf of all speakers here, I'd like to extend my utmost gratitude to the World Humanitarian Drive, Honorable Respected Patrons, Honorable Chris Phillips MP, the Parliamentary Under-Secretary for the Minister of Justice in UK, and H.E. Anthony Thomas Aquinas Carmona, 5th President of the Trinidad and Tobago, our founder, Chairman, the Honorable Honorable Dr. Abdul Basid Syed, the 12 Secretary Generals of WHD around the world, Mr. Eugene Ankoma from UK, Dr. Sharon Kim from South Korea, Professor Dato Dr. G.P. Doraisamy from Malaysia, Dr. Anandi Narasimhan from USA, Padma Bhusan Brick, Dr. Anil Kohli from India, Ms. Janaki Gurung from Nepal, Mr. Pedro Ignacio Altamirano from Spain, Mr. Ratan Kumar Das from Bangladesh, Zanisa Grassi MD from Albania, Ms. Hortensia Moreno from Canada, Mr. Mark Barnabas Lee from Singapore, and the Secretary General from Bhutan, Ms. Sarah Wilson, WHD Global Technical and Operations Head, and our dear moderator, Ms. Hema Doraisamy, as well as the organizing team who made this event a successful one today, and all WHD members, supporters, friends, and viewers from around the world. Thank you. Happy Malaysia Day. Happy World Moral Day. Goodbye, and see you all again very soon.